Hello learners, welcome back. After learning the jurisprudence of the Companies Act and the meaning of company, let us move to the next topic, which is characteristics or features of a company. We will discuss every feature one by one. The first feature of the company is corporate personality. Once a company is incorporated under the company's law, it acquires a corporate personality or a separate legal entity. This means that the company will have its own name under which it will act. The company will also have its own property. It can borrow money, employ people, and it can sue and be sued in the court. The shareholders of a company are its notional owners and only owe the share which they hold in the company. There is a famous case in this context which we will understand now. The case is of Salomon versus Salomon. It goes like this. Salomon was a successful leather and boot merchant, and he converted his business into a company. The shareholders of this company consisted of Salomon himself, his wife, his daughter, and 4 sons. Salomon also held debentures in this company. It so happened that the company went into loss and had to be liquidated. The official liquidator sold the assets of the company and started the payment to the creditors. Since Salmon was holding debentures in the company, he was considered as a secured creditor. And as per the rule of liquidation, the secured creditors should be paid before the unsecured creditors. So Salmon was paid before the unsecured creditors. The unsecured creditors took this case to the court, stating that they should be paid first and not Salmon, because he was an alias or agent of the company. The court gave the decision in favor of Salmon. The company has a corporate personality. Although Salmon holds majority of shares, is regarded differently from the company. According to corporate personality, the business of the company belongs to the company and not to Salmon, as the company has a legal entity distinct from its members. The second characteristic of a company says that the company is an artificial person. This means, although the company is invisible, but it exists in the eyes of the court. Furthermore, company can enter into a contract and maintain its own property. The third characteristic of a company is that it has a nationality and residence. The nationality of the company is the place of its registration. An incorporated company resides wherever it is registered and wherever its meetings and business takes place. Another important characteristic of a company is that in spite of having a nationality, a company is not considered as a citizen. A company can act only through natural persons. Hence, it is not given the status of a citizen. You should remember one point here, that certain fundamental rights which are provided to the citizens in our constitution are also available for the company, like protection of person through right to equality. But still, a company is not regarded as a citizen. This is because the Citizenship Act of India excludes company as a citizen. The next characteristic of a company is limited liability. This is actually a privilege for the people doing business through company. The liability of the member as a shareholder of the company is only limited to the unpaid value of the share held by them. For example, if Amit holds a share of rupees 1000 nominal value in a company and he has already paid 700 rupees on this share to the company, then the liability of Amit towards the company will be limited only to 300 rupees. However, there are certain exceptions in this feature of limited liability. The liability of the members of the company becomes unlimited when the company makes a default and reduces the members below the minimum requirement, or when a company is registered as an unlimited company, or during winding up, it is found that any member had made some default in the past. Perpetual succession is a feature which is next and which says that an incorporated company can never die except at the time of winding up. The members of a company will come and go, probably because one member may sell his shares to another, or members may die, or members may become insolvent, or they may retire, but the company continues to go on forever. The main reason for this is that the company is different from its members and has a legal existence. According to Professor L.C.B. Gover, I quote, "Members may come and go, but the company can go on forever. During the war, all the members of one private company, while in general meeting, were killed by a bomb, but the company survived. Not even a hydrogen bomb could have destroyed it." Unquote. Let's look at an example. XYZ Limited is a company with only 3 members, and these 3 members are the only directors of the company. One day, all 3 died in an accident. Even after this, XYZ Limited company will continue to exist. Moving further, separate property is the next character of a company. A company is a legal person, and so it can own and maintain its own property. The property of a company is different from the property of its members. So if a member is purchasing a property for a company, it should be purchased under the company's name. Let us understand this concept more deeply through a case. Macura versus Northern Assurance Company Limited, 1925 AC 619. In this case, Macura was a member of a timber company, and he held all but one share in this timber company. He ensured the timber of the company in his own name. The timber got destroyed by fire. He filed for a claim from the insurance company. The insurance company rejected the claim, stating that he doesn't have any insurable interest in the timber, as the timber is not his but of the company's. So what did you understand from here? The point here is that the property of the company belongs to the company, so much so that the members don't even have an insurable interest in it. Next characteristic of a company is the transferability of shares. Please understand that the capital of a company is divided into smaller units called shares. As per Section 44 of the Companies Act, shares are just like any movable property, and the owners of the share can freely buy and sell the same in an open share market. So, shares of a company are freely transferable, except for the shares of a private company. Private company can restrict the free transferability of shares in its articles of association. Otherwise, shares of the other listed companies can be easily transferred through electronic mode. Free transferability of shares ensures liquidity to shareholders and stability to the company. Capacity to sue and be sued is another important characteristic of a company. The meaning of sue is to bring legal proceedings against someone in the court of law. A company has every right to take an action against anyone in the court if any wrong is caused to the company in terms of harming the personality or property of the company. The company can sue for damages in the court for any defamatory action committed against it, or any defamatory material published against it which can harm the business of the company. Similarly, any person can take the company to court if the company has harmed the interest of that person. Common seal is another important feature of a company. A company is an artificial person and therefore does not have hands to sign a document. Hence, according to Section 22 of the Companies Act, a company maintains a common seal. This common seal should be present on every document of every transaction which a company enters into. So these were the features of a company. Don't you think a company with such unique characters is a really interesting form of business? Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for listening.